All right, good afternoon. A beautiful Thursday. A little Patriots talk with my new guy, Tony LoConte, at
Yes,
Brady
sir.
Disciple. And the podcast, of course, is the Malcolm Go Patriots podcast. Tony, I want you to look in the camera and tell me that you knew when the Patriots were under 500 this year that they'd be in the position they are in today. How in the world has this happened? Is this Bill Belichick's best coaching job? Let's talk all of it. Go ahead. Give me your thoughts.
Can you hear me? It says I'm muted. You can
I
hear me?
got I got you loud and clear, my brother.
Okay. It said the host muted my mic. So let's see. I was cautiously optimistic from the start. I mean, I knew that I know Bill doesn't spend money the way, the way everyone wants him to spend the money, right? So, but this year was so much different where he went out and got his own pieces. He played it a different way. Had the most money, knew that the salary cap was doing what it was, didn't have Brady anymore. So he had this huge pile of money to spend, went out, handpicked the players he want. A lot of them happened to be the best players available at the position. So it was an insane, just kind of run of over 2 or 3 days, Judon, Hunter Henry, Smith. And I kind of thought that they were going to, start the season maybe, they had Miami, the Jets, Saints, and the Bucks. And I thought Cam was going to start those 4 games, just kind of not put the pressure on Mac, to start the season. You don't want the guy. Basically, I mean, Cam was a stopgap, right? So you came in, you had Mac. I can't even say the words. Mac come in, and I thought it was kind of didn't make much sense to have him go up against the guy that he's basically replacing. But they did it, and to Belichick's credit, they started slow. I kind of expected it. They should have beat Miami. It was a lot of the early stuff in the season was self-inflicted. A lot of penalties, a lot of fumbles. They clearly lost the Miami game on a fumble. The Saints, they got blown out. That was just a bad game. A lot of times, I mean, even with Brady, September will have a bad loss. Usually it's against Miami or against some team that's not very good. And, this year it hasn't been any different. I mean, it's really like a Patriots season. They'll always have, with the exception of last year, they always have a run in the middle of the season. There's usually a make or break section of the season. And this year it was kind of, Dallas through Buffalo last week, and they won 6 out of the 7. I mean, I thought if they got 4 of those, they'd be in pretty good shape. So that's not atypical of a Patriots season. I don't think they're turning anything around. I think last year was just an anomaly to the way the Patriots operate, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm fooled then because once Brady left, I'm like, okay, this is the real deal here. You lost the GOAT, so
Yeah.
I'm always player is greater than coach, even in football, where a coach can impact the game more than any other sport. But so hand of football God, I've been proven wrong. You've taken a rookie quarterback. You're winning games throwing 3 passes on the road on Monday night. It's interesting. What'd you make of Sean McDermott's comments? That let's not go crazy on this coaching job. I mean, come on, we were terrible in the red zone. I thought it was a pretty damn good coaching job.
Yeah, it's Sean McDermott. I don't know, for whatever reason, he bugs me more than most any other coach that we faced. With Rex Ryan or someone like that could actually beat Belichick. He had a bravado about him. He's kind of jolly and happy. Sean McDermott is whining constantly. I mean, it's not that the Bills didn't get breaks in that game. I mean, the Patriots didn't get breaks. The Patriots, basically gifted them their only touchdown, putting a wide receiver that doesn't return punts back to return punts on the windiest day of the year. They just, handed them a touchdown right there. And then, they get the phantom. I don't even know if I guess it was a personal foul on the sidelines. I mean, Sean McDermott had plenty to worry about. I mean, he basically, without trying to give Belichick credit, gave Belichick the credit for outcoaching him. And yes, you started at the 40 and couldn't get in the end zone. We were starting at the 20 and running it down your throats, basically with the same formation and the same play all game.
Well, it's also better to give credit to the opposition and swallow your pride and salute Bill rather than throw your own players under the bus. In essence,
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what he did. Which
sure,
I don't love that play by Sean, but
he did that thing. What did he said that he didn't he basically didn't start his punt returners because he didn't want what happened to N'Keal Harry to happen to his team. And I think it was Isaiah McKenzie tweeted out, "Damn!" Like right after he must have heard it on the internet. You know what I mean? Just saw it. Bill would never do that in a million years.
No, from a distance, and I've covered a couple Super Bowls with the Patriots, like anybody else who's covered the Super Bowls recently, because they're always there. He bugs me, Tony. The unwillingness to have any variance to how he conducts a press conference, and it's like, this is clearly a me problem and not a Bill Belichick problem.
I mean that's a big I mean that's a big media gripe. I mean that's why he's very unpopular with the media, but I don't know. There's so much. I mean,
it doesn't matter.
It's he keeps winning. The fans couldn't be happier. I mean, it's really become the media. I mean, like almost in everywhere now. It's like the media is basically the enemy, and especially Boston sports media in general. I mean, they get bullied more than I don't know. They put out the most ridiculous hot takes just to have them. You know what I mean? Just to hear themselves talk and their voices, and then have people try to respond to them. It's basically the goal. So, a lot of that is Patriots fans just, I don't know, just always defending Bill and before that Tom and the team against the media because it seems they want to go negative almost 100% of the time.
I would never put anything out there just to get reaction. Just to that, you would never see that. You would never see that at the Carm Twitter. All right, or check out my TikTok. Damn it, Instagram. God love you. So let's talk Mac Jones here, Tony. The theory out there is that look, you could see how Bill uses him. So it's clear that he doesn't really trust this guy, at least not yet, as well as he's played certainly at times this year. I mean, do you think that they are winning, as I wouldn't say necessarily in spite of Mac Jones, but maybe around a rookie quarterback is a way you can say it?
I think that he's just turning the clock back. I mean, 2001, it was not very different. I mean, the rules were different. Sure, you could throw a lot more now and easier than in 2001, but it's the same recipe. It's, football is really never going to change. I mean, if you can play defense, if you can run the ball, you're going to win a lot of games. I mean, you can control the clock and make safe, smart passes. That's what Bill always wants. It's just a quarterback that can make smart decisions in the right moments, just do what he's supposed to do and, do your job. You've heard it a million times. I mean, that's basically the job of the Patriots quarterback is to not make mistakes, to get first downs. We're not going vertical. We're going to go horizontal, move the chains. And that's what Mac's doing. I mean, of course, he only threw 3 passes. I wish he threw 0 last week. But, I mean, when he's given the opportunity to throw, he's on target. He's makes quick decisions. And that's number one. I mean, if you make quick decisions, and they're right, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Do you think the Patriots got the best quarterback in the draft?
Yes. I was going to say, I mean, for them, I would say for them, yes. I mean, maybe, you could say, you could say it for almost a million things. I mean, I've done it a million times with, the wars I have with my friends or on my podcast or anything about say for N'Keal Harry or versus DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf basically exploded immediately. N'Keal hasn't done anything but basically become a left tackle. So it's just it's best for them, is what I'll say. I think he's the most perfect quarterback for them. If they got Justin Fields or I don't know, maybe Trevor Lawrence would be just as good, but it's the quick decision making of Mac Jones, the smarts and the toughness and just the game prep planning, the intense studying that a player will do and just the leadership. I don't know how those other guys are. I didn't really study them all that much, but I know that those guys, if they came here, just wouldn't be as efficient as Mac is. He just seems, especially coming from a Saban program where it's almost identical. And, Nick told Bill, I mean, this is how he plays, this is how he prepares. And Bill was ready for that. I mean, and I think that's just the perfect scenario for both of them.
So you're going to be speculating here, but I'm going to ask it anyway because it's going to be it's a slightly discussed topic in Chicago, although most Bears fans are very much in love with Justin Fields. But I do wonder, like, if the Patriots were drafting at 11 and the Bears traded up to get there, but let's just say they were at 11 and Fields and Jones are available. You think they're taking Jones, and or like let's say they're at 3? Are they taking Trey Lance, Fields? Are they still drafting Jones there? What's your do you have a angle or anything on that?
Yeah, hindsight to me. I mean, I think Bill would have taken Mac Jones at whatever number that was. I personally, I mean, I'm so creature of the moment. Whatever story I read is like, I love this guy now. You know what I mean? So like, I was reading like, The Athletic. Jeff Howe had a piece on Trey Lance, and I was like, I love him. Perfect quarterback. You know what I mean? Pick him.
Yeah.
And then I thought it made sense at the time to take Justin Fields because we had Cam to kind of show him what to do. But yeah, Matt, I just, maybe it's just the way the NFL is now. I just, you want something special out of your quarterback other than, something sexy, right? Something with Josh Allen's arm or Mahomes' arm, something like that. Someone that can do something crazy or run around the field like Fields or Russell Wilson. I mean, Mac doesn't have any of that stuff, but he's got the head. When anything above the shoulders, I guess that's what really matters in the scheme of things.
All right, last one on Jones. From the first time you saw him on the field to where he is now, how would you describe, like, he's better at this? This is what it's amazing he's come this far in X category, or this is pretty much he stepped in and was ready to do it, and we're seeing the same guy.
No, I think against the blitz, number one. I mean, I think his first play, he looked like a Pop Warner kid against in the NFL. But I think he took a drop back. Maybe it was his first pass play or the first play in general, and he threw the ball backwards. And he had a few mishaps like that, which you would expect out of a rookie, nervous first game. Yeah, he had a couple issues like that, but now he's figuring out the blitzes, where it's coming from. He's very good with just identifying his reads quick. He was always good at that, but yeah, definitely picking up the blitz and throwing against the blitz. I think he was something like under 50% with his passes before, and now he's like way up there, like over 80%. I mean, he's killing it against the blitz and reading where it's coming from, sliding his protections where they need to be, and just getting the job done. I mean, basically, that's the Patriots. That's the way of their quarterback. That's what Brady did for 20 years. So same exact thing.
Yeah, that there's an underlining of coaching there. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Josh McDaniels, it's
Mhm.
hard to believe, but it's been well over a decade now, I guess, that he was a head coach in the NFL. Is he just going to wait this out until Bill retires and slide in that spot? Do you think he's going to head elsewhere? It's not a bad gig where he's at right now.
Yeah. So. I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, I guess if you get the right opportunity, I mean, I don't know. Whenever he got that Colts job and they had that secret meeting at Patriot Place, and they must have made promises and something. I know that they said they were going to keep him more involved with whatever it was, drafting or personnel, and who's going to be more involved on that side. I don't know if Bill thought he was going to have this much energy left. I know he's been on the record of saying he didn't want to coach into his 70s. I think he's about to turn 70 now. So, I mean, next year will be 70. So, I mean, he can't have much time left. His, I don't know, but he seems to have a ton of energy. If Josh wants to become a head coach, there's not I believe he's still in his 40s. So I don't think he's got, he's still got plenty of time to do that if he wants to. And I'm sure he's first in line here in New England if he wants to become the head coach.
It is incredible that the guy's only 45 years old. It feels like he's been around for 3 decades. He must have started coaching in the NFL when he's 15.
He was young.
Yeah, I mean, I think his first year, well, he was a grad assistant at Michigan State in 99, so he's with the Patriots, a personal assistant in 01. So 2001, that's 21 years ago. He was 24 years old. That's a slightly
won all 6 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, 6. That's a slightly better career path than I'm on. I'm not sure where you're at, Tony, but that's a good.
He's a little bit behind me.
Yeah, right. Let's go personnel wise and kind of look back. You actually started the podcast talking about the free agent signings. If you were going to rank them, Henry, Smith, Mills, Judon's been incredible. Aguilar. who is Judon the top of the class? I mean, is there any argument to be made elsewhere?
I don't see so. I mean, Judon is really, really up there. I would put Hunter Henry 2, just because tight end is such a focal point in this in the whole grand scheme of thing. A lot of people don't talk about him, but he just had the biggest game probably of his career. Devon Godshaw in the middle of that defense again is another Patriots staple. Is always the defensive line, especially the middle of the defensive line, and shoring that up was number one. He wasn't a big sexy name. He was played for a division rival, which helped. But bringing him in, shoring up the center of that defensive line, pairing him with a rookie in Barmore, has made that that entire defensive line and the whole defense as a whole better. So I would say that every single one of them has been either a great success or a success. I mean, I don't see anybody as a lot of people are down on Aguilar. I think he is what he's expected to be. I think everyone's been just as they were supposed to be. Maybe Jonnu Smith, you can make an argument, but I mean, I still think that he's catching on, and they're gonna get him more involved. They try every week.
What's your expectation of how this whole thing comes to an end here? 9-4, 2 up on the Bills. Got to play them one more time, obviously. But best record in the AFC by a half game over the Titans, Chiefs, and Ravens. I mean,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I know. I kind of I mean, I hate that this is a bye week because they're so hot right now. But at Indy, it's kind of a different Indy team because I'm so used to just spanking them constantly. You know what I mean? They were just always the softest team. The Patriots were, especially up here. I mean, just considered like gargantuan, just tough guys, and then you go and play the Indianapolis Colts in all their white uniforms, and you just bully them constantly. And now they're kind of built like the Bills should be built, which they basically switched identities. Indianapolis should be playing in Buffalo. Buffalo should be playing in Indianapolis. And I don't know. They're a tough team. I mean, they can run. They're built a lot like the Patriots, so I'm a little nervous about that game. And then the last three, I mean, I know Jacksonville, that's at home, so I'm not too worried about that game. But Buffalo, I think the Patriots took their souls last week, so I don't see them as a challenge, but anymore. But at Miami is going to be a real tough game because they're on their own winning streak, and they could possibly screw some stuff up there. They'll probably be trying to make the playoffs that last week, whatever that it is now, week 18 or whatever it is. And the Patriots will be hopefully trying to go for the 1 seed. I mean, hopefully, I could see them winning 3 out of the 4 there without issue, and securing that 1 seed. That'd be, I mean, inconceivable to me at the beginning of the season. You know what I mean? I thought they would be fighting for a wild card, but in the playoffs, but didn't ever think they'd be a 1 seed.
I'm letting it sit that you actually you focused in on the rest of the way of the regular season. Let's go a step further as we're getting a comment in the chat here about the Chiefs. How do you think they stack up against the AFC's elite?
They are the AFC's elite.
Woo! Tony!
They're the number one seed.
Yeah.
No, I mean, what have the Chiefs done all season? I mean, they've been up and down. The Patriots started slow and then have just gone up the mountain. What's that game from The Price is Right? What's that game? When
the mountain climber.
Exactly.
That guy.
That's what the Patriot season is. The Chiefs have been middling all year. They remind me of like an 09 to like 2011 Patriots team where they can just beat you with their offense. They'll turn it on one game and then all of a sudden their defense will not show up and they'll lose. They'll lose. That's just the way it was for 3 or 4 years here. And I mean, if the Patriots have home field, they could beat anyone. They could. I mean, the thing about their team is the way it's constructed is, and like I said, football never changes in this regard. Defense travels, running game travels. I mean, sure, we can go on the road in Buffalo in a hostile environment and throw 3 times and win a game on Monday night, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is a great coaching job," but that could be done. That's their recipe for success right now. I mean, let Mac continue to learn and just pick his moments, basically.
Hey, I love it. A little confidence. Yeah. I mean, you're Why take chips off the table when you're hosting the Malcolm Go Patriots podcast? Damn it.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go. Let's go. Tony, good stuff, man. Real well balanced, and you're in the foxhole, baby. So no pun intended. Let's do this again, and as we get down to playoff time, we appreciate your time on Stacking the Box, brother.
You got it, man.
Thank you for listening, watching, doing what you do, and for your comments. I know you. Hey, look, maybe Andy Reid isn't showing his hand. That's a possibility, but I don't know. Reid versus Belichick in the playoffs on the road, Chiefs fans. I know you're going to be nervous, so it'll be fun to watch regardless for the rest of us here in Bears country.
We're getting a little cocky here. Over 3 years of success.
Hey, that's right. They are. Of course, they got that Patrick Mahomes guy running around, which I think gives them a little bit of that extra boost. But all right, we'll wrap it up right there. Tony, good to be with you, brother.
All right, man. Go Pats.
Yep. And thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next time on Stacking the Box. Next Tuesday, me and Matt Verran will be back with you.